another thing is if you can get an intelligent response, like a repetition of the same word, or that's.
I
can't even hear it half the time.
Dude, it said something about. I can't say it in front of these kids here.
It sounded like it.
I heard the same thing, but I'm gonna keep hush hush on that.
Okay, let's just turn this off. Yeah, well, the problem is we won't have it for the investigation if it dies down.
He's a good boy too.
Now listen, you two, you and your sister.
Getting ready for the investigation, Dan?
So what again?
Getting ready for the investigation.
You have to watch.
Oh yeah. The main thing, I guess, is that we don't want
Hey, you think I can use that stick? Just for the
I'm walking around. This is the old barn. That was me. Of course, that's the courthouse slash schoolhouse. That's actually where I got that EVP of the little girl humming. That would be the farmhouse. Everybody just getting ready to do what they gotta do. It's gonna be very interesting. We'll just do it quick. That was me. This is the room where we got that EVP. There's Harvey. Yeah. Ready to rumble. People are just coming in.
See you again?
You know, we usually Texas.
A lot of activity going there, so we'll check it out.
Ready, big dog? Oh, heck yeah. I was born ready, buddy.
Hey guys, everybody head over here to the White House. The toughest town on earth, and I want to welcome Dan LaFave, his wife, his crew, and he'll introduce everybody. Graveyard Shift, they're the best, and these guys, sincerely, nobody knows Helena better than his crew. They've been here more times than anybody else, so they know the ins and the outs. I'll be real brief. History in prehistorical times, this highway you see out here, 81, used to be a trail for the buffaloes, followed by the Indians. Then the Spaniards came, of course, anywhere from the late 1500s, 1600s, and then later the Anglos and so on and so forth. But this road here had many names. The last name was the Ox Cart Road, Ox Cart Trail. And across this, you had Spanish troops in the 1700s because you had the presidios, which are forts. And my two sons, their ancestors, I believe, were the head of the military in San Antonio around 1730. So that's why they got all excited about this. But Santa Anna's men went across here. You had Robert E. Lee in 1846 to 48 was here, widening the road for the war with Mexico. Then you had cattlemen, you had everything going here. Then the town was founded in 1852. It grew so quickly that it became a county of Torrance County in 1854. And people just poured in. At that time, this was considered Southwest Texas. Southwest Texas. This was on the very edge of civilization where you're standing. And under that blacktop is the old road, right where we're at here. Lots of events have happened throughout history, and little is known today about the real events in this town. This was one of the wildest, most violent places in the Old West, and the way I put it is, it made Tombstone look like a Sunday school picnic. But we're too far from Hollywood for them to pay attention. Tombstone, Arizona is closer. So you had Lady Outlaws here, Sally Skull. We have that all in the books. And you had John Wesley Hardin, very famous. You had big gangs like the Taylor Gang, which was part of the Taylor-Sutton feud. It was the bloodiest feud in Texas history. And the Taylor Gang, one of their hideouts and headquarters was just a few miles from here. So there's a lot of history here. These buildings, this was moved here from Gillette. It's over 100 years old. The courthouse is from 1873. Post office is from the 1800s. Barn is old. You have those two jail cells, one from Falls City, and the one from Helena was actually part of a two-story jail back there, which we believe, we don't, as some of the people who saw the movie already, we don't believe necessarily it's the buildings that are haunted. We believe it's the land itself, that it's the land. Lydia, her house is right on the other side. She's got about two to three ghosts in there now. And then the worst of the best is the Ruckman Mansion, where we're going to take you later, and that's where evil resides. That's about it, unless anybody has any questions. I want to get right moving on to Dan and the important stuff.
Questions about history? Okay.
We will be locking up the kids and feeding them Doritos and soda.
All right. This is my wife, Connie, and my name's Dan Lefebvre. We've been investigating paranormal a long time. I've been going on 14 years now. I got into this field probably just about it for any reason that anybody else would. I've had a lot of things happen that I could never explain. I'm very analytical. I look at things very scientifically. I've run into things that just would blow your mind. You just feel things on you. And it's hard to describe when you feel these moments, but it's just downright scary. Been in a lot of things. We've investigated a lot of places across Texas, a lot of historical locations. As Barry was telling you, we're probably the most familiar with Helena as far as the paranormal. We were called out here in 2007 by his wife, who again lives right on the other side of this courthouse.
Start with house too.
Yeah.
Start with her house.
Basically, they had a lot of activity in their house, and they could not figure out what exactly was going on. And back in those days, we were kind of trying to put the pieces together. And a lot of times when you put the pieces together, a lot of it comes from history. And if y'all don't realize, but Texas is probably one of the most fascinating states, probably in the United States, because so much happened here in Texas. There were so many battles. There was just a lot of skirmishes with Indians, a lot of Civil War. A lot of people don't realize that Texas was a very integral part as far as the Confederacy. A lot of supplies were brought straight up through here because all the ports were blocked by the North, and the South had no way to get supplies except through Mexico or straight up through the Gulf. So the North knew this, and they were trying to attack every single port that they could, including the one down by Brownsville and also Indianola, which is straight down this road basically to the Gulf of Mexico. which got wiped out by a hurricane several years ago.
It's funny, a little love story. I met my husband when I joined his team back in 2006, and I was looking for the same thing. I was looking for a team to hunt with because I was interested in the paranormal. And all of us paranormal investigators have experiences that have brought us to this field, and I'm sure all of you have your own experiences that you can share with us around the ghost fire tonight. And we will be having a little, I guess, a fire tonight after
have a campfire,
and we're going to roast
afterwards to
marshmallows,
talk about it.
and I'll attempt to play guitar, and I may hand it over to Brandon, who can really play guitar, and then you can watch him try to play the guitar over me trying to play the guitar. So anyway, the point I was trying to make was we've met each other all in different fields. We all have different interests.
This is our group over
right.
here.
This is our group here. Javier,
some of them.
Edward, JC, and his wife Ronnie is with us today. And we've had a lot of team members come and go due to a lot of reasons, moving and things like that. And it's funny because we started out in Harlingen 5 years ago when we started our own team. And like I said, we had met before on another team and joined. Then we followed each other to another team, and then from there we came to Harlingen because I'm a teacher and I wanted to start my teaching career down there. So we ended up down there and we met these great people who helped us create something special, something of our own, something that we could take to another level of investigation. We love what we do. We're not in it for money. We're not in it for fame, but we love doing what we love to do. And it's led us to books. It's led us to, YouTube and documentaries and things like that. And we love all that. And it's fun. But what we really want to do is be here with you. This is the part that we love the most.
And the main thing that we've always done with the paranormal is it's real easy to tell people to believe in ghosts. We don't do that. What we try to do is have everyone that comes with us have their experience. Now, we can't explain why this happens, but it seems like every location we go in, we seem to ramp it up.
We get something every time.
We don't know why it
Every
happens, but we've gotten complete sentences talking back in different languages, in direct communication. Now, the bottom line is, out of all the locations we've been in, including Helena, I would tend to say Helena is probably one of the most haunted locations we've ever been. And this place is just starting to really become known to the rest of the world. Not because we want to put it out there for fame or anything, but we're letting people know that there are things going on here. Now, last year we did have a very exciting event. Several people are here that were here last year.
Who was here last year? Raise your hand. Did y'all like it last year?
It was pretty exciting, wasn't it? A lot of fun. We're going to do things differently. I'm not just wearing this getup tonight because I like to wear this. It's believed that in the paranormal, when you wear things having to do with the situation, a lot of times it can ramp up the activity. Like my wife said, I've written 2 books. I did this one in 2012. This one came out in June. These are both on Amazon. These are very good books. This one goes very in-depth into the paranormal world. It's called Shadow the Ghost Hunter. This one I came out with in June is called The Supernatural Texas in the Old West.
Those are ghost stories.
This hinges on a lot of the locations that we've been to and the different things we've experienced. It's not your ordinary ghost book. I don't believe in writing just stories. I like to tell basically what's been happening from a historical viewpoint and also from our investigation experience. This place is active. And to tell you how active it was, there was a recent radio show that was out here that's very popular, and they just filmed out here. They had a lot of things happen, and you all are going to get the experience in a little while of seeing a little bit of that video of what they ran into. Yes?
So why this area? Like, what specific?
It was very brutal.
Violent.
But it was specifically here in Helena. Why are we on this plot of land?
Because this is the actual building that it all happened.
Right across the street, y'all can see, that's the old Masonic Lodge, and it's also believed that the KGC, the Knights of the Golden Circle, if you ever watch conspiracy shows, you're going to know exactly who the KGC were. One of their main hangouts. They did a lot of planning, supposedly inside that building. Right across, how many people did they hang from that tree, Barry?
In 1869, 13 months, 150 to 300 people.
We've gotten EVPs from that tree.
We've gotten very scary EVPs off of that tree, and I enjoy it, the fascination, the curiosity. I'm not going to lie to you, I do get scared.